Kindiki, do swear the evidence that I shall give before this committee on the matter under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Yes, Owen?
I'm wondering whether that is on record, because I don't know whether the mic was on or not.
Was the mic on?
So probably we need to redo the oath.
Hmm? I thought it was on, but for avoidance of doubt, Professor, you may repeat the oath.
I, Kithure Kindiki, do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee on the matter under its consideration shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Welcome to the Committee of Parliament, Professor. This is the second time this committee is having an opportunity to have a bite at you in terms of vetting and assessing your suitability to hold the office to which you have been nominated. Before we start, we'll do some quick introduction of the team or the committee that's going to interrogate you. On my right is the Deputy Speaker of the House, Honorable Gladys Boss. On my left is the Clerk of the National Assembly, Samuel Njoroge. I'll now invite all the members to introduce themselves, starting with Naisula here. Go round.
Naisula Lesuda, Samburu West MP.
Kimani Shongo.
Junet Mohammed.
Nelson Koech.
Kothik David.
Kikari David.
Emase Mary.
Abdul Rahim Daoud.
I'm Ferdinand Kevin Wanyonyi.
George Gitonga Murugara.
Owen Bayer.
Robert Mbui.
Stephen Mule.
Dido Raso.
Abdi Shurie.
Mishimboko Likoni.
Rehab Mukami Washira.
I'm Caleb Amisi Saboti.
We also have the Secretariat that is supporting this process, led by the Deputy Clerk, Sarah Kyoko, where is she? And all those good people sitting behind, who will be giving us some behind the curtain support. Professor Kindiki, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We'll start by asking you the obvious questions to introduce yourself briefly, stating your name, family background, education background, work and employment experience, your present engagement, and your status of compliance with all the relevant agencies of government that we passed on to you. You have 5 minutes for this exercise.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members of this committee. Mr. Speaker, my name is Kithure Kindiki. I am 52 years old. I was born in Tharaka Nithi and grew up there, went to primary school there, and upon my completion of secondary education, I studied law. I have a Bachelor of Laws degree from Moi University, which I obtained in 1998. I have a Master of Law from the University of Pretoria, and I have a PhD in International Law from the University of Pretoria, which I obtained in 2002. I am married, I have 3 children, and I have worked in the last 26 years in various capacities. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya of 24 years standing. And in the process of my career, Honorable Speaker, I have worked as a lecturer. I taught at Moi University for 3 years, and later on at the University of Nairobi for 9 years. I rose from the position of assistant lecturer until I became Associate Dean of the Faculty of Law at the University of Nairobi. In between, I was head of Department of Public Law. I have been licensed to practice law in Kenya, but also before international courts and tribunals, including the International Criminal Court, where I still remain in the list of Defense Counsel. Mr. Speaker, sir, I've been consulted for many organizations, including UN agencies, regional organizations like IGAD, COMESA, African Union, East African Community, and also I am a member of a number of professional organizations, including the Academic Council for the United Nations System, the International Association on the Study of Forced Migration, the International Commission of Jurists, the East African Law Society, and the Law Society of Kenya. I submit.
Thank you. Status of compliance.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have filed to Parliament through the clerk my compliance with the Higher Education Loans Board, my compliance with the Kenya Revenue Authority in terms of tax compliance. I also have filed my compliance with all the other statutory bodies, including EACC, as well as the clearance from a recognized credit bureau, as was guided. And therefore, I want to submit, Mr. Speaker, that I've complied with all the statutory requirements as was guided by this House.
And you have all the documents?
Yes, I do.
You'll pass them on to that sergeant next to you to give to Sarah Kyoko to have a look at?
Does that include the certificates?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right.
She'll compare with the copies that you sent to Parliament. I will now open the session for asking and interrogating the nominee. And I'll give the first shot to the Deputy Speaker.
Professor Kindiki, I know this is within your knowledge that the Maraga Task Force on Police Reforms identified many challenges in the National Police Service, the Kenya Prison Service, and the National Youth Service as underfunding, endemic corruption, poor handling of human capital and development. So could you highlight for us some of the police reforms that you undertook during your just ended tenure as Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Internal, National Administration? And also, if approved, what are some of the measures that you will put in place to implement some of those recommendations? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I forgot to say between 2022 and 11th July 2024, I was the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration.